Good evening. A few minutes late. I was late getting the post out there because I wasn't sure if I would get back from church in time, but I just walked in. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas Eve. I have no idea if we will have anybody join tonight, and that's okay. So I don't plan to go too long. My family is not home at the moment, but they will be soon. Had an great day with my brother and my sister and dad and that side of the family. And I hope that you have an opportunity to spend some quality time with your family. And for those of you who are out there and don't have are not with your family, my prayer for you is that you can still find peace and remember what this holiday season is all about. So, hey, Dusty. Hey, John Tucci. Good to have you guys. Hey, Bo. Merry Christmas. Hey, Ron Fast. Thanks for joining. I don't know how long I'll go tonight. We'll go a little bit. We got a few things to talk about. Yeah. Hopefully everybody's having a great Christmas. Eric, Wildman, Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining. Like I said, we've had a busy day. I had to work until noon, and then at noon we ran over to my dad's and celebrated Christmas with my family, my side of the family. And I just wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it back in time because we rushed from there home. I grabbed my guitar. I walked over to the church. The church that I attend is on the same block that I live on. I can throw a rock and on a couple bounces hit the building from here. Maybe back in my high school days. Now, I probably couldn't get there now. But yeah, we had a really nice service. It was packed. I mean, there were no seats available. That's the second night in a row. Just a wonderful, wonderful service, and that really gets me prepped for Christmas. And so I'm sure that Christmas movies will hit the TV tonight, and we'll just kind of relax and chill a little bit. So what is everybody else doing for Christmas? DJ Patrick, Merry Christmas. Hello. Hopefully you're doing well. John, why are you not on the sleigh? Hey, Bob Palmer. Not going to be on here long. Just wanted to say hello and Merry Christmas. Hey, Bob. I don't think we'll be on. I've been racing for about 6 weeks. I love it, and thanks to all of you for being so welcoming and helpful. Bob, glad you're here, man. Merry Christmas. Thanks for stopping in. We won't be too late tonight on the live stream. I just wanted to jump on, say hello, and wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Hey, Greg, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Gladstone, Merry Christmas. Happy you're here. I don't want to, this is an important night. I don't want to take up a whole lot of your time, but do have a couple things that we can talk about. That's pretty cool. Been working on my buddy John Mark's car for the Trans Am series. It's Pioneer, and running some laps with it. I need to, get the axles the right length and get everything set up and get it tuned, but it gets around the track pretty good. I can't complain, but dang, this model looks so good. That is a great looking car. And slot invasion guide. I've got the 17.5 motor in this. Probably going to upgrade it to the 20,500. I got to put an order together. But great stuff. I like the Lemon Drop Kid with Bob Hope for a Christmas movie. Hey, Patrick, that's a good one. I like the classics too. My favorite that I usually watch on Christmas Eve is White Christmas. I'm a big Bing Crosby fan. I love the era, the time frame, but we have some other good ones that we'll watch too. But yep, those are fun. Who else do we have? Have I missed anybody? I apologize if I missed you. Jeff G. Right over here, I got a box that showed up today in the mail. I believe it's from you. I have not opened it yet, but we might be able to open that up and take a look at the Fast Lap Challenge car that Jeff G sent. So thanks for sending that in. RW53, Merry Christmas. But Merry Christmas, Jeff. Thanks, man. Marty, those 132 cars are little to build after building big girls. They are. Yeah, when you go from building 124 or 132nd, you got a lot less room to work. But man, if anybody likes Pioneer, that's a good looking car. This is a 3D chassis that I think John Mark. I'm not sure where he ordered it from. I think Shapeways actually before they had their problems. But yeah, nice. It's an inline. I would rather this be a Sidewinder, but with the inline, I can do that long can. It does have a pod, so we'll get it running good. So that's been fun to finally get that on the track. I've only been working on that about 9 or 10 months, so good to get that. My wife watches White Christmas all the time, even in July. That's great. Finn. Hey, Finn. Hey, buddy. Come here. You want to say hi? Say Merry Christmas. So you all have to wait until tomorrow till you get your presents. In Germany, presents are handed out on Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. Greg, love that Camaro. I have that one too. Yeah, Greg, this is a good one. It is a 3D printed chassis. I'll give you a quick look at it. I still have some work to do. And CB Design wheels. It's got some super tire 1402s on it. I think I'm going to go to 1403s just so that the tire is a little bigger. And but I do like its stance on the track. I think that its stance is nice. Looks good, and it should perform really well. Pretty happy with how it's turning out. ISHR Harry, Merry Christmas. Greg, I put a 3D chassis on one of my Pioneer Camaros, and it runs great. Yeah, Greg, I think I've run a few laps with this. Just the other night when Dusty was here, got some braid on it and put a motor in it, and it was getting around pretty good. What else do we have? Hey, Chris, Merry Christmas. Slightly mad. Good to have you. Merry Christmas. Glad you're here. Hey, Billy K. Love the channel and Merry Christmas in the good old summertime. Thanks, Billy. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you being here. For Christmas, I bought myself a 1970 Baldwin Camaro model by AMT Pro Shop. It's a beauty. Can't wait to get it built. That's exciting. Yeah, man. The 70 Camaros. That's what my dad has. He has a real 71 Camaro. It's awesome. Dusty and I were in the garage talking about it today. So, who else? Have I missed anybody? Don't make it faster than mine. I can't have John Mark beating me. That's right. After I ran a couple laps of Dusty there, I was like, dang it. I always build John Mark a faster car than mine. Because mine actually is in pieces at the moment. But it's the scaly. And it's okay. It's just okay. It's not super fast. But so if anybody has gotten anything for Christmas, anything good for Christmas, put it in the chat so we can celebrate with you. Any great Christmas presents. I don't know if anybody saw Travis's post, um, but there was an official announcement this evening from Marco at Electric Dreams about the C1 Corvette is going to be delayed sometime first quarter 2025. So that's kind of sad news, but I think I don't know that any of us are surprised by that, to be honest. I'm not surprised. We've had lots of conversations about the C1 and what a tight schedule that was. And, Marco was very apologetic in his email out to some people. And I wasn't going to talk about it, but Travis posted about it. So I figured that it would come up in the chat. So, but that's what Dad has, a 70Z28. It's pretty sweet. That's cool. Yeah, don't you wish you still had your cars from your youth? I still wish I had my 70 Maverick. But yeah, good stuff. I about the C1, the one thing that he did do was he did post. So it looks like the C1 should be out in the first quarter sometime. They're really just waiting on the factory schedule, and then it's got to get shipped in a container, and so that's kind of really what we're waiting on, I think. So yeah, it didn't come before Christmas, but I'm not sure that any of us thought that it would. I think we thought that was a pretty unrealistic deadline. But know that MR Slot Car has not stopped preparing. They've not stopped developing. And so the 250 SWB, they've posted a mocked up picture of the body. And man, it looks really, really good. I don't know if I can show this. Yeah, let me see if I can show this. Browser. There we go. So that's a pretty cool picture. That's going to be a great car, and it's going to be a similar chassis design as the C1. It will definitely be a car that races in that class. And basically, Marco talks about how the hope is that that they will continue the series, or that is the plan. They will continue the series and have more cars. The Aston Martin DB4 Zagato is one that is right after the 250 SWB. And we know when I talked to Ernie, when he called me last month, we talked about there's a fourth car coming. And so it looks like there'll be 2 or 3 different liveries for each car and 4 different cars by year's end, 2025. So pretty cool. So we'll just have to be patient, and I'm not mad about this, even though it would have been cool to have it by the end of the year. But it's, it is not going to happen. But that's okay. Just to be honest with you, I didn't think it would happen. So, what else do we have? Marty, what height is your slot car track from the floor? Patrick, my table is at 32 inches from the floor. Eric, we are all broke anyway. Exactly. Might as well push this car to 2025 since we pre-ordered. None of us can pay for it anyway. What Bob Hook said. Who was it? GST Racing. What Bob Hook said. Bob Hook. Let me go back to Bob's comment. Just so I have some context. Ho, 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 from the Great White North. There we go. All right. Thanks. Merry Christmas. From the Great White North. Let's see, Marty, what? Okay, I already said this. I still have my first car. I painted the owner's house for the car. I was 15 years old. That's awesome. See, I didn't have the foresight. I could only see what was in front of me, and I sold my Maverick, and I've regretted it ever since. Regretted it. I got a 125 Sunbeam Tiger blue printed kit on Evil Bay yesterday. Nice. I like Sunbeam Tigers. Those are cool cars. What else do we have? So yeah, that kind of stinks about the C1, but that's all right. We've got plenty to keep us. Did anybody get the new Slot It delivered? The Datsun? I thought I had pre-ordered that, and come to find out that I didn't. I didn't pre-order it. So I thought that I might have it coming, and but I didn't. Marty, I still have my first title truck bought in 1975. Chris, that's awesome. Dusty says hello to all the slot heads that have joined us. Yeah, man. I had pretty low expectations of what the live stream would be tonight. I really didn't know how much time I would have and what time I would get here. Our church service started at 6:30. Should be over around 7:30. There was a ton of people there tonight, and so it was helping clean up, and I didn't get home until I walked in the door, grabbed my laptop, came down here, turned it on, scheduled the live stream, and here we are. So other projects. Got this cool car. I don't know if anybody else got this, but this showed up at the house this past week. Very cool. I am a big Days of Thunder fan, so that's a really cool NSR C8 Corvette. Hey, Dominga. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. What else? Oh, hang on. A couple of other things. I got a Christmas card in the mail today from a fellow slot brother, our friend The Fingers. And that was quite nice. It was a handmade card, and I have an appreciation for handmade gifts. I love to create things this year. So The Fingers, thank you, brother. Merry Christmas. I appreciate the card. This year I did, I like to do lino cutting, if anybody knows what that is. Block stamps. It's where you carve the stamp out, the reverse image, and then you ink it and create prints. And I did like a retro, an old, like a vintage looking Santa Claus. And I made some small ones and a couple larger ones. And we gave those out to some gifts to some special people. And I enjoy giving those kinds of gifts and making them because I enjoy getting them. And so tonight, my sister, she gave me a gift. She made a Christmas tree out of some bourbon barrel staves, which is really cool. And that was her first try at woodworking. So I'm super proud of my sister. And then, we got some other handmade gifts this year. And those are special because people put their heart into those. And those gifts mean a lot. And Dusty got me some awesome web straps for like tying up cords and things. I always very practical stuff. So I hope he enjoys the cutting board. My nephew was a woodworker and makes all kinds of really cool things, and he did some live edge cutting boards for us that are they're beautiful, and so hopefully enjoys that. What else we got going on? I still have my first 72 Mustang when I was 18. Now 68 GST. That's awesome. Hey, Dojo. Merry Christmas, man. Let's see, Bo. Slot Cars, if I may speak on behalf of all of us, thank you for doing this live stream. Bo, yeah, man, no problem. Happy to spend some of my Christmas Eve with all of you. You guys are all family. And it sounds kind of weird to say, but I'll just be honest with you. I so look forward to Tuesdays. It's one of my favorite days of the week because I get to gather with a bunch of people that really that have the same interest. And I see the Thunderslot Gunston's Ferrari is sold out at a few dealers. Yeah, that's a popular car. That is a great livery, and it's different than the previous, really different than the previous livery. And I think people were kind of waiting out to see what the next thing would come. I like both of the Thunderslots that started shipping this past week. They look really, really good. So, yeah. What else? Dojo. Carrie. Merry Christmas, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Chris, someone is getting a BRM Red GT40 for Christmas thanks to his brother-in-law. Nice. That's awesome. Hey, Patriot Hobbies. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. Can never have enough cutting boards. You know, I was joking that my wife, we have a bunch of cutting boards, but I really, the wood cutting boards I like using, they just take some care. You gotta, I made some beeswax, and I mixed some mineral oil in with the beeswax and made kind of a paste. And I'd forgotten all about that, and so I think I've got a couple of packages of it. I need to give Dusty and my sister Amanda some of it so that they can keep their cutting boards conditioned. That's important. But yeah, I agree with Dusty. That should be pretty sweet. I had my roof done and got enough 4x8s and 2x6s to make an 8-foot by 16-foot track, figure 8 two-lane career track. Patrick, nice. That's great. Good thinking. Instead, we are a worldwide family, aren't we? Bo, you're right. Yeah, we are. It's pretty cool. It really is cool. People from all over the world, different backgrounds with a common interest. Hey, Ben. What's up? Merry Christmas, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, James. James, you are right. Ohio State did wake up. That game was awesome. For as bad as the Michigan game was, the Tennessee game was awesome. So, yeah, but you just never know which team you're going to get, man. So we just hope, cross our fingers each time they take the field. But, yep, they didn't. Oh, yeah, Dusty, that same stuff will work great on your cutting board. It'll keep it conditioned. It's a great finish. It holds up pretty well. It's this beeswax butter is what I call it. And, yeah, you don't want to put anything on a wood cutting board that'll go rancid. So, like, people use vegetable oil and some of that stuff, and some of that stuff will go, like olive oil will go rancid. And, like, then it's just ruined and it stinks. And then, we've got bacteria growing on it, and it's just bad. So, HSF, Merry Christmas, man. Thanks for joining. Greg, if you follow Dirt's Custom Calls on Facebook, you can see lots of pictures of the coyote calls that Dusty makes. They're beautiful, man. They are really cool. Yeah, I really would like a nice in-grain butcher block type of cutting board. I plan on making one myself once I get my workshop back together. But something called Slot Cars has kind of gotten in the way of that. So, what's the mix? I think that I think it was like a 1-to-1 mix on beeswax, and I have a buddy that does who gave me a few pounds of beeswax, and I melted it down, and then I used a bottle of mineral oil, and so it was about 2-to-1 maybe. I'd have to go back and check, Greg, but super easy to make. But it's actually pretty easy to buy out there. It's called board butter. Yeah, it's really the nice thing is it doesn't go rancid. I always use plain mineral oil on my old walnut countertops. Yeah, that's good. The beeswax causes the mineral oil when it mixes. It conditions the board, and then it creates kind of a protective layer. It's actually pretty good. George, not late to the party, man. I was really late posting because I wasn't sure if I was going to get out of church in time to make it happen. So, Doug, Merry Christmas. Have a safe holiday. We're watching It's a Wonderful Life. Doug, great movie. Jimmy Stewart. When I was a kid, I had a huge crush on Donna Reed. I thought she's beautiful, and I just love her in that movie. Those two, they just have great chemistry. It's fun, so enjoy that movie. That's good. It'll be either It's a Wonderful Life or it'll be White Christmas or Elf or something. We'll watch something, I'm sure, tonight. I use the same on the soapstone countertops. Yep, good call. I have concrete countertops. Most is 4-to-1 mineral oil to beeswax. Thanks, Dusty. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I had like 2 pounds of beeswax, maybe more, and it was a small bottle of mineral oil, and that's about the 3-to-1, 4-to-1. Yeah, somewhere in there. But man, it works really well. I like it. I think I've got a whole pint jar made up upstairs under the sink. The next thing, hey, DW Barker, welcome. Merry Christmas. Family just left. Yeah, that's kind of sad sometimes, isn't it? So, George, hope you're doing well. Shady Dave's RC channel. Shady Dave, welcome. Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Good to have you. Good to have you. Making sure I don't miss anybody. What else do we have to talk about? We could open up Jeff G's box. Take a look at it. This is his Fast Lap car. So I'm kind of excited about this. So Jeff, we will definitely get some practice in with it, run some laps. Dusty's coming over. John Mark's coming over. So we will get it recorded and get it in and then get it back to you. We won't waste too much time. Nice. Oh, yeah. Check that out. The Mustang. Oh, that was the body pin. Got it. I shouldn't have turned it that way. Well, now we can even look at the inside. Oh, yeah. That's really cool. Very cool, Jeff. So that goes in there. That goes in there. And then this that I set here goes in here. There you go. Very nice. That is cool. Number 97. I love it. Yellow Mustang. Long Lewis. Besseman, Alabama. Oh, I can't wait to get that on the track. That's going to be awesome. So what do I know about it from looking at it? This car has the 22.5 Scale Auto motor. That's a good motor. Maybe it's either a 9 or a 10-tooth pinion on the orange gear, maybe red gear, and a slot invasion guide. Oh yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be fun. And we got some. So Jeff actually sent two cars. That is. I think I'm gonna Jeff. I think I'm gonna keep this a surprise. Until the video, because this is kind of special. Looks like you got a letter in here too. Yeah, I'm not going to share this one just yet on the channel. I will say that we've seen this car before, but I'm not going to say where. But it's special, and I will say that he is one of my favorites, Jeff. That just so you know. But oh boy, guys, this is going to be a fun car for the challenge. Fun car for the challenge. Maybe we'll throw it on the track before we wrap up tonight. I don't know. Gosh, we got 50 people on Christmas Eve. That is awesome. So Jeff, there you go, man. That is awesome. Hey, John Schaefer. Merry Christmas. Can't stay long. Just wanted to wish man, thanks for stopping in, dude. It's good to have you. Always good to have you. Merry Christmas, John Mark Hall. John Mark, we've got another car that you need to put some test laps on. We're going to see how it compares. It's got some weight to it. This ought to perform pretty darn good on the track. That would be my expectation. That's a good motor, and that's a really good motor. And then, yeah, that's really cool. So what else do we have? So John Mark, thanks for tuning in. His family must be gone for the evening, or he's sneaking on. So let's see here. HSF, yes, that's a great looking car. Man, the decal work is really, really good. I'm super impressed with that. I really need to figure out how to print high quality decals. The Stang. Yep, Patrick, that is it. Yeah, Jeff, the pin locks it in. Yep, I got it. I figured it out. That's actually a great design, man. That's a great design. You got some body float. Yeah, Carrie, that's a nice Mustang. Mustang Sally. Merry Christmas to all. I got to get back from my daughter's. I just got back from my daughter's house. I had a great time. Man, that's awesome, George. Glad you got to spend some time with the family. Yeah, nice work. Put the pin in the passenger side. Okay. I got it backwards. Okay. have come out in shipping. There we go. Oh yeah, that's cool. And it does a nice job of locking that in. Oh, there we go. And this is got a really creative, chassis as well. It's got some body float, and it's got some kind of roller pins that the body snaps on so that it can move. I'll give you a close up. We're all about sharing. And so, man, like I look at George's chassis and it's just a work of art. And then Shotgun Dave sends his rattle chassis. And then now we've got another chassis. I'm going to learn so much from this Fast Lap Challenge. This is pretty exciting. Very cool. Very cool. What else do we have? Yeah, I got it to lock in. Yep. It must have popped out during shipping. But yeah. Dusty, I have a sweet Falcon to build. Looks like another slot car corner in the future. Yeah, that is a great body. Christmas Day here. Merry Christmas. Ready for lunch. That's awesome. It is sharp. Shotgun Dave is the person to ask on making decals. Yeah, he does a good job. I really would like to buy a nice printer that I know would print high quality, high contrast water slide decals. So I really need to do some research on it. Bo, that's right. They're great because you can see them. But this one looks great. There's a tube on the guide that it goes through. Yeah, I found it. Greg, I'm hoping for some Slot Car Corner gift certificates from Santa. Yeah. Well, good night, Eric. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. Well, that was my Nationals GT cars were fluorescent yellow and red. Chris Perry, Merry Christmas, one and all. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Chris. Hey, Brandon, what manufacturer is that Mustang? 3D print, 1970 Mach 1? Yeah, it looks like a 70 Mach 1, but I don't know if it is a resin printed, maybe. Kind of looks like it might. Kind of looks like it might be resin printed. Jeff could answer that question for us. Hey, Clint, Merry Christmas. What else? So, shared Jeff's car, the mystery car that Jeff sent. I can't wait. That's going to be fun. John Mark's car. What else? I talked about this, the Days of Thunder car. Livery on the C8 Corvette, which is pretty cool. I probably should show the finished product. I've got one other thing. I got this as a gift the other day. And this is the Slot Car Dreams book that they put together when they were doing the Los Angeles Slot Car Museum, building that collection. And I'll be honest with you, like I never thought about picking this book up, I guess. I figured, all the history I could find out there on the internet. And so this came as a gift. And like it's an expensive gift. I I think it's $75. But I am telling you, it is super impressive. What else? What am I missing here? 70 Mach 1 snap kit. Okay. There you go. Merry Christmas, Clint. The vintage cars were fluorescent orange and blue. Dusty's always kind of been the fluorescent colors. Daryl Marty's new shelf queen. You might be right. But Daryl, welcome, man. Good to have you. I've learned too much from this channel. Looking forward to 20. I've learned so much from this channel. Chris, I'm glad, man. I'm glad to hear that. That's the whole reason why I do this, is so that people have an opportunity to learn. I'm looking at my shelf. I've got a Carrera NASCAR that Dusty picked up some tires from Bobcat Tires, the urethanes. So I'm going to get that tuned up. I do have some tuning projects, but not to get sidetracked. This book, it's full of pictures, and it talks about all the manufacturers at the time, all through the history of. I think it runs up through up to present day, and pictures of different kits. It's going to take me weeks to get through this book, guys. It is beautifully done. And so I'm going to read this. It's probably going to take me probably a month to get through this. I'm going to read a little bit each day and each night and try to get through all of it. Super impressive. This is a ton of work, but like pictures of some pretty cool brass chassis work, some Jailhouse chassis. Talks about motors, talks about companies that were making all these products through the ages. Some great stories. Yeah. If you are interested in the history of slot cars, this is the Bible for that. Super impressive. What is impressive about it is the amount of work that went into this. So thank you to the folks that sent that to me. Pretty awesome. Yeah, it's been a great Christmas so far. My daughter Caroline is in. She and Dusty have already been trash talking about doing some racing. So, hey Tad, welcome. Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing well. Enjoy your time. Yep, be thankful. We had some folks lose their house in a fire last week, and what a awful time of year to have to go through something like that. So be thankful for what you have, for sure. But Chris, thank you. I'm glad you're learning. That's what the whole purpose of this channel is. Bo, I got the Carrera BMW 320 in black for Christmas, but also have them in yellow and white and red. That's awesome. Yeah, Jeff G., a lot of good history in that book. I'm totally fascinated by it. It's just, it is huge though. I mean, it's 300 plus pages. But Tad, thanks for stopping in. Merry Christmas, man. Appreciate you. John Mark, we will have to run some evening. Probably Thursday is as good as any. I'll see what Dusty's got going on. Wait, tomorrow is Christmas. We're running Christmas night. I don't know. We might be going to the movies. We haven't heard yet. So, Daryl went to an Amish grocery store today, and they looked at me funny when I told them Merry Christmas. Daryl. Do they not celebrate Christmas? I used to have, I feel like I used to have next door neighbors that were Amish 2 houses ago. And I have a funny story. They used my phone when I was building my house. I worked at the phone company, and I put a phone in early in the process because we didn't have cell coverage where we were building. And they discovered that I had a phone in there, and they would come and use it, and they would make all these long distance phone calls. And I got my bill, and I was like, "Hey, what are all these phone calls back to Lancaster, Pennsylvania?" And I'm like, "I didn't make these calls." And so I walk across the street to the. They were like, "Oh, we borrowed your phone. We'll pay the phone bill." I'm like, awesome. It was back when you paid for long distance calls, and it was like $100 worth of calls. It was a lot of phone calls. And they were like, "Would you like an apple pie or a goat?" I was like, "No, cash, please." And maybe the apple pie, but I don't want your damn goat. So that was always funny. But they were good people. They were always good neighbors to us. Pretty quiet neighbors. But I don't know if they did Christmas or not. That's a good question. But if they gave you the funny look, Daryl, maybe not. Oval racing or road course? Caroline likes the road course. She's never raced on the oval yet, so that will be new. So we'll probably race on both, George. We are racing Thursday in Cincinnati, Marty. That would be cool to be able to get down there. I do not have band practice on Thursday because we played so much this week. So Thursday would be a possibility to possibly get down there. Hey, Vin. So Dusty, Caroline, John Mark, me, we will probably race both, George. She's excited to try it. Bo, I have no idea which new Carrera model will be coming in 2025 yet, but I know that there will be a new mold in 124 for sure coming. Yeah, I mean, they usually release their range sometime in January, right? So we'll see what Carrera's got coming down the pike. There you go, Jeff. They celebrate Christmas, but the old-time Amish celebrate January 6th. They do celebrate. Yeah, I thought they did. Been there with the goat. When he told me that, I was like, "Why do you think I would want a goat?" And he was like, "Well, you don't have grass yet, and the goat would take care of your yard because we hadn't sowed any grass. It was just weeds and stuff." And I was like, "You probably got a point, but then I'd have to build a fence, so it would cost me more." Latinos do that goat trading, do they? That's cool. Funny thing is there were a couple of them on today on the road that surprised me. Yeah. I used to joke about how I would hear buggies go by at like midnight going home from different things where they would travel, and it would just take them so long to get from farm to farm. But yeah, we have a lot of Amish in our area. So, hey, Vin. I need to grab the car I finished. Hold on. So you guys know I was working on my own car for the Fast Lap Challenge, and it's pretty much finished. I need to make a couple of decals for it, but all in all, it's a Shotgun Dave body on a brass chassis with staff wheels And then the rear wheels are NSR Classic wheels with Bobcat urethanes on them. And I'm running the Blue Gear inline 22.5 Jolly Rancher. And it's a pretty simple chassis. Just the tongue guide, 2 pieces of brass with with 2 heavier, those are like 3/32 piano wire for the chassis. So the chassis, it doesn't really flex as much as I thought that it might. And the body, I'm using 2 screws in the back. So the body can actually, it could actually float, but then I used a magnet mechanism to connect the front of the body. So you can see it snaps down. And as soon as that magnet takes hold, no more body float. But what I found is the car is so light that it doesn't really need it. It's only about 43 grams. And the car is really fast. But we don't know if it can take down George. So we'll have to, the next time Dusty or John Mark are over, maybe I'll have Caroline race it on the oval to run its times. But it's got a pretty good shot. I think it's got a chance, but we'll see. But that's that car. Got the interior done in it. It's got some windshield and back glass. Hand did the number 9s on it. And, yeah, it turned out pretty cool. It's a cool car. In the bright pink. Not everybody likes the pink. I get it. That's all right. It's easy to see. Thanks, Clint. When I work at a mechanic's place fixing tractors, we fixed a tractor for a Latino gentleman, and he told us, I'll bring you a goat next week, and we did not realize that he was serious. Yep. I have some friends in Cambodia, and there's all kinds of trading that goes on. They were driving gasoline tractors. Let's raise a barn. Guess what he brought in the back of the trailer when he came back? A goat. Gary, it turned out great. It's a fast little car. It only weighs 43 grams, like the total weight. It's super lightweight. I didn't have to put any weight in it, but it sticks in the slot really well for being so light. So, but it's a car that I think I'm going to pass around a little bit. So it'd be cool to see it run on other people's tracks. It runs decent times on the Carrera track here. So it's not bad. It's a good little car. Oh, George, I don't know, man. The first time I soldered it was with my old soldering iron. And then the repairs that I've made to make it work for this car are with the new soldering iron, and the solder flows so well with the new soldering iron that I wish I would have just started over, to be honest. But it's not horrible. I might try it with the long can motor, but I have to cut that front section. There's not enough room for the long can, so we'll see. That's 100 grams lighter than George's car. Yes, it is. It's 100 grams lighter than George's car and runs similar lap times as George's car. That's what's crazy. The Iron Dame legend. That's right. That's cool. Yeah, the Iron Dame stuff is really pretty cool. Thanks, Clint. Yeah, it's a fun little car. But it scoots. Dusty ran some laps the other night with it and was getting some pretty darn good times. So we'll see. Again, though, like this was built specifically for the Fast Lap Challenge. So, that's the difference, this car, than the rest of the cars that have come in for it. So But then, Jeff G's car. I don't know. How much do you think it weighs? It's got a little bit of heft to it. Let's put it on the scale. Jeff probably already knows. 129 grams. And this weighs... Oh, wait. I lied. It's not 43 grams. It's 80 grams. So I must have had, when I weighed it, I must have had the tare messed up. Yep, I did. So it's 79 grams. So still pretty light. 79 grams. But it's a fun little... Nice. It's all good. Well, guess what? I have a secret hanger special I'm building for next year that you will be getting for your challenge. Love it. I'm not gonna lie, man. The challenge has been fantastic. I have loved running all the cars. I've got notice that like there are 3 more cars coming, maybe 2. This was one of the packages. I keep getting notices from UPS and USPS that random packages are coming. I did post my email in the comments on the last video, so that's probably why that's happening. The pink Legend looks cool. Something else, eh? Yeah, it's cool. 80 is pretty close to 40. I felt like that was really light when I threw it on the scale at 43 grams. So I'm glad I reweighed it. Now I feel better because I was like, this feels so much heavier than 43 grams. Anyway. All right. Where are we at? 43 guys, 37 likes. That's awesome. Guys, thanks for tuning in. This has been fun. I think that what I will do, though, is I will probably shut it down here in a few minutes because I know that everybody's got things to do. In metric or imperial? This is in grams. Should we ask what the wheelbase is? Oh, in metric or imperial. Got it. The wheelbase is... where are my calipers? Hold on. I have to find my calipers. Well... All right, my calipers are missing. Here's a in imperial. The wheelbase is 2 3/4 inches, which would be 7 centimeters. So there you go. Now, from the pivot point on the guide to the axle is 8 centimeters, or, well, let me make sure I'm where I need to be. 3 7/16 is the measurement from the pivot point of the guide to the rear axle, center of the rear axle. So there you go. There it is in imperial and metric. Hey, UC Slot Cars, Merry Christmas. Sitting here with Slot Car Hub having Christmas lunch. Awesome. Dave, that's great. David, you and Shane are getting together for lunch. There you go. Hey, Greg, thanks, man. Enjoy. Have a Merry Christmas. Hey, Greg. Thanks for tuning in. Merry Christmas Eve. I saw that there were some text messages in our text group. I just hadn't had a chance to respond because I'm live. So things I'm planning for 2025. I think that this layout is going to change in 2025. This layout has been here like this in this modified figure 8 for about 14 months. Yeah, I finished it in October of last year. And so here we are, approaching January. And so I've been looking at some designs. I've been tooling around with it. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but it is something I think that I'm going to change just so that we can just have a new challenge, I think. And I think that I will probably eliminate the bridge, which I know will cause some issues, but I think having lane differential is something that, from a practice standpoint, for some of these other races that we've been doing would be good, so that we can really see. I don't know. I just think that would be fun to kind of play around with. So, looking at some designs, looking at some ways to change the present layout. So that's some of the things in 2025. More scratch building. I've got 3 cars I need to build in the next 2 weeks. So I've got to get that done. And Clint asked, let's see, what do we got? Merry Christmas, Bud Slots. 2 lines endurance race. 2 lines endurance race. That is one of the other things that we've talked about in 2025 is to help our friends in the Michigan prepare for that race is to have maybe a 6-hour endurance here on this track, even though it's kind of a small track for like an endurance race like that. It might be fun to practice. So Clint asks if it would be, but Greg, can't wait. Keep it a 4-lane, correct? Yes, Clint. I think moving forward, we will always be 4-lane. One, I've got the Axle Box Ultra 4, so it's easy to stay digital because of that box. And yeah, so 4 lanes is what we really have found that we've enjoyed. It's just, I know I can build a bigger, longer track if I stick with 2-lane, but the fun factor for us racing side by side, especially analog, the 4-lane is where it's at for the home track for us. So we will stay 4-lane. Greets to Down Under to you and hubby. Merry Christmas to your family too. Yep. Love it. So we'll see. Yes, Slightly Mad. Have to keep it 4-lane. I agree. Clint, you agree? Yeah. So that's what I'm excited about is coming up with a new 4-lane design, but it's probably going to be a flat track. Because the Nationals race that we raced was a fairly flat track. Didn't have a lot of elevation change. Very, very little at all, actually. And then from a visibility standpoint, I really liked that. So, but with my table being 8 foot, kind of narrow, I might have, with the 4-lane, I might have a few little overhangs where maybe it's not a bridge where it actually crosses, but that maybe the lane, the turn kind of overhangs the long straight. It will still have, my design will start with a long straight from this end of the table to the far end of the table. Because I like that element. I like the challenge of being able to get stopped at the end of the straight. I like to be able to, like, the cars really get a chance to stretch out a bit. That's an important factor. So it's going to take me some time to get the right design. And then I've also talked, if I could get a hold of Polycar track, that I might build it in Polycar. But we have such a huge career investment at this point. It's hard to change, but I would really like to try Polycar, just a different surface. So, hey Shane, Merry Christmas. Dominga, did someone say enduro? Yeah, Dominga. If you want to come over to Chillicothe and race in the enduro endurance race, that would be awesome. We haven't like come up with any details, but Dusty and I were just spitballing about things that we want to try next year. Most tracks we race on are pretty flat. Butch's track with the last big turn is about as banked as it gets for 1/32 scale. Yeah, I agree. Dominga wasn't paying attention, making cheesecakes. Nice. I've been baking cookies, Dominga. I make chocolate chip cookies, and I make a lot of them for Christmas. And so I actually came home after going to my dad's today and baked, let's see, how many dozen? 10 dozen cookies in the hour between the time I got home and the time I went to church, because I took some to some friends at church tonight. Hey, Das, Slot Car Box, welcome. Thanks for joining. DeFingers, Merry Christmas from Gloria and yourself. Merry Christmas, man. I just got a Christmas card from you, brother. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Greg, Dominga is hooked. Well done, Dominga. So yeah, we'll let you know, buddy. No surprise there, George, that you've been printing some awesome stuff is what you've been doing. And Dusty said, I just had said chocolate chip cookies. I hope you enjoyed them, Dust. Big glass of milk. Yeah, I'm hooked. Yeah, it sounds like you guys had a fun time, Dominga. I hear Tate did a nice number on the car that you guys are driving. Greg wants to know, doing any 125s, George? No, I think they've been mostly doing 1/32 scale cars, because that's where the big need is, right? So let's see here. What else do we have? DeFingers is in the house. Everybody, let's see. What is George? Cookies were good that we got from you. My sister assassinated them. George, I was scared to death that they'd be stale as all get out by the time they got to you, but the post office did me a solid and got it there. They told me it would be Monday, and they got it there on Saturday. That's awesome. I was talking to Shotgun Dave today, and I told him, I said, buddy, I wanted to send you some cookies, but I knew there was no way that they'd make it from Ohio to California. One, they'd get there in time. Two, that they'd even look like cookies by the time they got to him. So I got to figure out a way to send Dave some cookies. But he was eating the peppers, the rest of the jar of peppers that I sent. And that's why he sent me a message. Chillicothe Speedway for the oval. I've been just referring to it as the 2 lines oval. It kind of fits, but yeah, Chillicothe Speedway is good too. I appreciate that, Patrick. Yeah, Merry Christmas to Fingers. Appreciate the card, man. That means a lot. So, yeah, good stuff. So we know the C1's not coming from MR Slot Car until first quarter. It's a little behind. Hate to hear that, but the car's gonna be worth the wait, I think. It'll be interesting to see all that they do with it for 2025. But yeah, what else do we have? It's 9:12. Gosh, I don't know is the track potentially ready to let me see. Maybe I could run a few laps with Jeff G's car. Would you guys want to see that? Before we wrap things up. Not Not Slim Man Tate's fault. Marshall catch the car. Hey, I've broken plenty of cars in endurance races. I'm 2 for 2, Dominga. So no worries. But heck, Tate backed it up by winning at Cincy Slots last week. That's what I heard. Laugh out. Oh, my choice. Clint, yes, some test laps. All right. Let me see what I can do real quick. Oh, wait. Do I have... Do I have... Okay, there's a camera. All right. So we have a camera. Oh, guys, it's going to do the whole thing where it moves. Let's see if we can make this happen. And let me see if I can make sure I've got a microphone that's working. All right. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me? Okay. All right, guys. I'm using my mobile phone as my webcam. And everybody sent me a message to tell me that it froze. And it's because you guys somebody sent me a message. When it sends me a message, it freezes that webcam. So the track is really dirty, so it was not really working out. But I will do some laps. I'll clean the track. I'll do some laps, and I'll post it out there. But guys, definitely has a dirt modified slide through the turns. Greg, it's because my track is dirty. I haven't cleaned it for a couple days, so it's faster than the GRX. It's going to be a fast car, I can tell. But I can't. This is not working. because lots of people were sending me messages. So I'm going to wrap things up. Guys, this has been great. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate you. I hope that everybody has a great Christmas and you get a chance to get out and maybe race some slot cars with your family, have some fun, but just take this time and enjoy your family. And again, if you're one of those people that struggle at this time of the year, my prayers for you, that you can still find hope, right? There's a lot of good people out there in this chat, in this hobby. So we're with you. You're not alone. Hey, Chris Freder, welcome. But I'm going to wrap things up. Merry Christmas, guys. I really appreciate you. Jeff G's video will be coming soon. And guys, go have some fun racing.